You have to fight an exact copy of yourself to the death. How do you outsmart yourself? Decide to stop fighting and compete to outlive one another. We both end up eating healthier, exercising, and finding more joy in our lives in hopes of living longer than the other, eventually forgetting about the fight to the death part. #X200B, and then I hit her with a claw hammer. Wouldn't she expect the claw hammer and intervene though? Edit. Alright. I get it. Once player 2 enters the game, their experiences will change the way they think plan. They probably wouldn't both have the claw hammer idea, at least not on the same day. I imagine all that clean living will make her soft. Only as soft as it makes you though, right? Edit. Alright guys, I get it. I ducked up. Their personalities will diverge once player 2 enters the game and their futures become unpredictable again. Hear me out. Something is defined by its properties, and its properties can be argued to include location and spacetime. Technically, an exact copy would have all of the same properties, but you can't have two things occupying the exact same places in spacetime, unless if you want to count bosons, but that's irrelevant for people, so they're not exact copies in that sense. Therefore, because they do have some subset of properties that are different between the two, the ways that she and her exact copy change throughout are able to differ. Therefore, they might not be equally soft simply because of a small difference in the initial conditions, i.e. chaos theory. TLDR, it's possible that they can be different enough in the end even if they are only a few feet apart for the rest of their respective lives. If he's anything like me, he won't like getting kicked in the balls. My first instinct was to kick myself in the balls, ha ha ha. For no context. Finally, a good one. Not according to their no context mods. They seem to think people want the sub to be exclusively for double meanings, even though that's never been the main thing people post and upvote there. I tell him that someone he is friends with thinks he's annoying. Hey, remember that Night Vale episode? Where they fight their doubles? Yeah. And Dana Cardinal kills hers and grows to regret it really heavily later on. Yeah. Let's not have regrets. I'm pretty dumb, so outsmarting myself should be easy. Says the other you. Exactly, you've gotta outthink you outhinking you. Dude, as soon as he sees and hears himself, he'll take his own life. Guaranteed. Edit. Holy shit, this blew up. Thanks everyone, and thanks for the gold. That's what I sound like. God, what a whiny bitch. I swear every time I hear an audio clip of myself I want to shove a pencil through my eardrums. Other people assure me it's fine, but to me it just sounds atrocious. So, if our in-head voices are that much better than our actual voices, imagine what Morgan Freeman's voice sounds like in his head. Shit. Just imagine the confidence a Morgan Freeman or a James Earl Jones has in life, not having to question if they sound like a ducking moron to everyone but themselves. I sheathe my weapon. We learned this back in 1989 when playing Prince of Persia. Wait, you had to sheathe a weapon? Is that why I could never pass that section? Please say no. I'm sorry, yes. Welcome to I was a certified retard when I was 6 world. There's a lot of us. Open Reddit on my phone. He should see me and do the same. We are both stuck there for at least an hour. You both post this thread trying to get help. Wait. Is that why you made this post? Is your clone trying to kill you? No, his clone is also browsing Reddit. So only one is getting karma for this post, giving the other an even bigger reason to kill the former. Bad move. But who says they aren't using the same account? Well, would you let someone else shitpost on your account and potentially drain all your hard-earned karma? I wouldn't. So that clone has to go. But what if that other person is you? You could team up to write twice the shitposts, then agree on them before you post. You would post OC faster than some spam bots. Knives, what happened? Scott, oh, nothing, we just shot the shit. He's just a really nice guy. We're gonna get brunch next week. We actually have a lot in common. I really like how this reminds you that Scott is actually a big enough asshole that his dark double is actually a nice guy. If only the movie was like the books and actually dedicated a section to Scott coming to grips with the fact that he's really kinda shitty. I still love the movie to death and Edgar Wright did amazing, but there's so many gripes I have with the movie version of Scott and Ramona in particular. I remember being told that Scott being shitty was supposed to be part of the ending, but a happy ending was pushed by the producers instead. What happy ending? The ending was a reference to The Graduate. They are both terrible people, despite some fun quirks, and they deserve each other. After a bit of digging, it would seem that there are two endings, and one has more emphasis on that aspect than the other. Of Scott Pilgrim or The Graduate? Scott Pilgrim. Hashtag Mr. Pilgrim. Kill myself. It'll win either way. Acquire lots of debt. Take out loans to go partying, bang hookers, do all sorts of drugs, then die. Now your clone has to pay it off for the rest of his life. I doubt the IRS and creditors are gonna believe, oh no, that wasn't me. That was my doppelganger. Yeah, tell that to collections. What kind of sick, sadistic asshole cashes out a 401k on his doppelganger at the marginal tax rates? You're a sociopath. All the accountants reading this just had a mild panic attack. It's the middle of tax season. I've grown accustomed to mild panic attacks and crippling sleep deprivation already. You can't hurt me further. Giving him alcohol. Yeah, whichever found either the cocaine, alcohol, or Xanax first and gave it to the other would win hands down. However, if they found it and started, they would lose so fast too. Whichever of us finds the gear and booze gives some of it to the other, and then rewards themselves with the rest. We both lose. Does my copy have the same exact wife? If not, have her shoot the other one in the back. In short, that'll be cathartic for her. And survival for whichever one of us she misses. Why did you shoot me? The other one is the clone. I know. The clone and I have discussed it, and we wish to try to start a new life together, without you and your bullshit. Pocket sand. My ace in the hole. He said, as he got hit in the face with pocket sand. But if he's freshly cloned, he won't have had time to prepare the pocket sand. Yet he needs a long rest to restore his second-level spells. I let myself win, so that the surviving one, we are copies, is unharmed from the experience. But then your copy also tries to let you win. It is now a game of Ultimate Canadian. But seriously, if that is how the mirror match works, no one could ever win, if both copies do the same thing simultaneously. It doesn't matter which of us wins, because we are identical, So it's basically the same if either of us survive. Rock, paper, scissors for the win. But will the game go on forever is the question. I lost the game at it. Shout out to 101 for doing the Lord's work. Duck. You. I was doing so well. Haven't lost in years. I made a pact with myself that if I ever encountered my clone, sex would occur. Mandatory. Guess it would have to be death by snusnu. Would it be masturbation? I'm going to say no. Once the clone is created, it becomes a separate person and will start to diverge from the original due to minor differences in experiences. So since it's a separate person, it wouldn't be masturbation. Distract that fat bitch with cake. The two of you end up fighting over the cake making supplies, until you eventually just make one together. Hey, you know that girl from high school you still have a crush on after 15 years? You know that girl you still think about every day but won't tell anyone else? Let's talk about that. I'm glad it turns off after the 27th year, for some reason. Vision goes bad about that time too. Not if you keep stalking their social media, that way the image is permanently burned into your retina.